I find in this letter that Don Pedro of Aragon comes this night to Messina.
He is very near by this. He was not 3 leagues off where I left him.
How many men have you lost in this action?
But few of any sort, and none of name.
A victory is twice itself when the achiever brings home full numbers. I find here that Don Pedro hath bestowed much honor on a young Florentine called Claudio.
Much deserved on his part, and equally remembered by Don Pedro. He hath borne himself beyond the province's age, doing the figure of a lamb, the feats of a lion. He hath indeed better expectation you must expect of me to tell you how.
He hath an uncle here in Messina will be very much glad of it.
I pray you, is Signor Montanto returned from the wars or no?
I know none of that name, lady.
Who is he that you ask for, niece?
My cousin means Signor Benedict Cadu.
Oh, he's returned, and as pleasant as ever he was.
I pray you, how many men has he killed and eaten in these wars? But how many has he killed? For I promise to use all of his killing.
He hath done good service, lady.
You have musty victual, and he has hope to eat it, for he's a valiant treasureman and has an excellent stomach.
And a good soldier too, lady.
A good soldier to a lady, but what is he to a lord?
A lord to a lord, a man to a man, stuffed with all honorable virtues.
He is nothing but a stuffed man, and for the stuffing, well, we're all mortal.
You must not, sir, mistake my niece. There's a sort of merry war betwixt Signor Benedict and her. They never meet, but there's a skirmish of wit between them.
Alas, he gets nothing by it. In our last conflict, 4 of his 5 wits went halting off, and now it's the whole man, governed by 1. But I pray you, who's his companion now? He has every month a new sworn brother. He wears his paint, but it's the fashion of his hat. It never changes with the next block.
I see, lady. The gentleman is not in your books.
No, and if he were, I would burn my study. But I pray you, who is his companion? Is there no young squarer that will make the journey with him to the devil?
He is most in the company of the right noble Claudio.
God, he will hang upon him like a disease. He's quicker caught than the pestilence, and the taker runs presently mad. God help the noble Claudio, for he has caught the Benedict. It will cost him £1,000 ere he be cured.
I will hold friends with you, lady.
Do, good friend.
You will never run mad, niece.
No, not till a hot January.
Don Pedro is approached.
Ah, good Signor Leonardo. Are you come to meet your trouble? The fashion of the world is to avoid costume. You encounter it.
Never came trouble to my house in the likeness of your grace. For trouble being gone, only comfort should remain. But when you depart from me, sorrow abides and happiness takes his leave.
You embrace your charge too willingly. I think this is your daughter?
Her mother hath many times told me so.
Were you in doubt, sir, when you asked her?
No, Signor Benedict, for them were you a child.
You have it full, Benedict. We may guess by this what you are, being a man. Truly the lady fathers herself. Be happy, lady, for you are like an honorable father.
She would not have his head on her shoulders for all Messina, as like him as she is.
I wonder that you will still be speaking, Signor Benedict. Nobody marks you.
My dear Lady Disdain, are you yet living?
Is it possible that Disdain should die if she has met such food to feed it as Signor Benedict? Courtesy itself must turn to disdain if she has come in your presence.
Then is courtesy a turncoat. But it is certain I am loved of all ladies, only you excepted, and I would I could find in my heart that I had not a hard heart, for truly I love none.
A dear happiness to women. They otherwise would have been faced with a pernicious suitor. I thank God in my cold blood I am of your humor for that, for I'd rather hear my dog bark at a crow than a man swear he loves me.
God keep your ladyship still in that mind, so some gentleman or other shall scape a predestinate scratched face.
Scratching could not make it worse if it was such a face as yours were.
You're a rare parrot, teacher.
Well, a bird of my tongue is better than a beast of yours.
I would my horse had the speed of your tongue in so good a continuer. But in God's name, your will I have done.
You always mind with a jade's trick. I know you of old.
welcome of all, Leonardo. Senior Claudio and Senior Benedict, my dear friend Leonardo hath invited you all. I tell him we shall stay here at the least a month, and he heartily prays some occasion may detain us longer. I dare swear he is no hypocrite, but prays from his heart.
My lord, if you swear, you shall not be forsworn. Let me bid you welcome, my lord. Being reconciled to the prince, your brother, I owe you all duty.
I thank you. I'm not of many words, but I thank you.
Please it your grace, lead on.
Your hand, Leonardo. We will go together.
Senior Benedict, didst thou note the daughter of Signor Leonardo?
I noted her not, but I looked on her.
Is she not a modest young lady?
Do you question me as an honest man should do for my simple true judgment, or would you have me speak after my custom as being a professed tyrant to their sex?
No, I pray thee, speak in sober judgment.
Only this commendation I can afford her, that were she other than she is, she were unhandsome. And being no other but as she is, I do not like her.
Thou thinkest I am in sport. I pray thee, tell me truly how thou likest her.
Would you buy her that you inquire after her?
Can the world buy such a jewel?
Yea, in a case to put it into. But speak you this with a sad brow. Come, in what key shall a man take you to go in the song?
In mine eyes, she's the sweetest lady that ever I looked on.
I can see yet without spectacles, and I see no such matter. There's her cousin, and she were not possessed with a fury, exceeds her in beauty as much as the 1st of May doth the last of December. But you don't intend to turn husband, have you?
I would scarce trust myself, though I had sworn the contrary, if Hero would be my wife.
Is to come to this. Shall I never see a bachelor of 80 again? Go to, in faith, and thou wilt needs thrust thy neck into a yoke, wear the print of it, and sigh away Sundays. Look, here comes Don Pedro to seek you.
What secret hath led you here that you followed not to Leonardo's?
I would your grace would constrain me to tell.
I charge thee on thy allegiance.
You hear, Count Claudio, I can be as secret as a dumb man. I would have you think so, but on my allegiance, mark you this on my allegiance. He is in love. With who? Now that is your grace's part. Mark how short his answer is. With Hero, Leonardo's short daughter.
If this were so, so it were uttered.
Amen if you love her, for the lady is very well worthy.
You seek this to fetch me in, my lord.
By my troth I speak my thought.
And in faith, my lord, I spoke mine.
And by my 2 faiths and troths, my lord, I spoke mine.
That I love her, I feel.
That she is worthy, I know.
That I neither feel how she should be loved, nor know how she is worthy is the opinion that fire cannot melt out of me. I will die in it at the stake.
Thou wast ever an obstinate heretic in the despite of beauty.
And never could maintain his part within the force of his will.
That a woman conceived me, I thank her. That she brought me up, I likewise give her most humble thanks. But that I shall have a recheat winded in my forehead, or hang my bugle in an invisible baldric, all women shall pardon me. No, since I will not do them the wrong to mistrust any, I shall do myself the right to trust none. And the fine is, for the which I may go the finer, I will live a bachelor.
I shall see thee, ere I die, look pale with love.
With hunger, with sickness, or with anger, my lord, not with love.
Well, if ever thou dost fall from the faith, thou wilt prove a notable argument. In time the savage bull doth bear the yoke.
The savage bull may, but if ever the sensible Benedict bear it, pluck off the bull's horns, set them in my forehead, let me be vilely painted, and in such grand words as they write, here is good horse to hire, let them signify under my sign, here you may see Benedict, the married man.
Nay, if Cupid have not spent all his quiver in Venice, thou wilt quake for this shortly.
I look for an earthquake too, then.
Well, you will temporize with the hours. In the meantime, good Senior Benedict, repair to Leonardo's. Commend me to him, and tell him I will not fail him at supper, for indeed he hath made great preparation.
I have nearly matter enough in me for such an embassage, and so I commit you.
To the tuition of God, from my house, if I had it.
The 6th of July, your loving friend Benedict.
Nay, mock not, mock not. Examine your conscience, and so I leave you.
My liege, your highness may now do me good.
My love is thine to teach, and teach it but how. Thou shalt see how good it is to learn any hard lesson that may do thee good.
Hath Leonardo any sons, my lord?
No child but Hero. She's his only heir.
thou a vector, Claudio? My lord, when you went onward on this ended action, I looked upon her with a soldier's eye that liked, but had a rougher task in hand than to drive liking to the name of love. But now I am returned, and that war thoughts have left their places vacant, in their rooms come thronging soft and delicate desires, all prompting me how fair young hero is, saying I liked her ere I went to wars.
Thou wilt be like a lover presently, and tire the hero with a book of words. If thou dost love fair hero, cherish it, and I will break with her and with her father, and thou shalt have her. Was not to this end that thou beganest with so fine a story?
How sweetly you do minister to love, that no love's breached by his complexion. But, lest my liking too sudden seem, I would have salved it with a longer treatise.
What need the bridge much broader than the flood? I know we shall have reveling tonight. I will assume thy part in some disguise, and tell fair hero I am Claudio, and in her bosom I'll unclasp my heart, and take her hearing prisoner with this force and strong encounter of my amorous tale. Then after to her father will I break, and the conclusion is, she shall be thine. In practice, let us put it presently.
How now, brother? Where is my cousin, your son? Hath he provided this music?
He is very busy about it. But, brother, I can tell you strange news that you yet dreamt not of.
Are they good?
As the event stamps them, they have a good cover and show well outward. The prince and Count Claudio walking in a thick pleached alley in thine orchard were thus much overheard by a man of mine. The prince discovered to Claudio that he loved my niece, your daughter, and meant to acknowledge it tonight in a dance. And if he found her accordant, meant to take the present time by the top and instantly break you with of it.
Hath the fellow any wit that told you of this?
A good sharp fellow. I will send for him and question him yourself.
No, we'll hold it as a dream till it appears. But I'll acquaint my daughter withal, that she may be better prepared for an answer, if peradventure this be true. Go you and tell her of it.
What the good year, my lord? Why are you thus out of measure sad?
There's no measure in the occasion that breeds, therefore the sadness is without limit.
You should hear reason.
And when I have heard it, what blessing brings it?
If not a present remedy, at least a patient sufferance.
I wonder that thou, being as thou sayest thou art, born under Saturn, goest about to apply a moral medicine to a mortifying mischief. I cannot hide what I am. I must be sad when I have cause, and smile at no man's jests. Eat when I have stomach, and wait for no man's leisure. Sleep when I am drowsy, and tend on no man's business. Laugh when I am merry, and call no man in his humor.
Yea, but you must not make full show of it till you may do it without controlment. You have of late stood out against your brother, and he hath taken you newly into his grace, where it is impossible you should take true root, but by the fair weather you make yourself. It is needful you frame the season for your own harvest.
I had rather be a canker in a hedge than a rose in his grace. It better fits my blood to be disdained of all than to fashion a carriage to rob love from any. In this, though, I cannot be said to be a flattering honest man. It must not be denied, but I am a plain-dealing villain. If I had my mouth, I would bite. If I had my liberty, I would do my liking. In the meantime, let me be that I am, and seek not to alter me.
Can you make no use of your discontent?
I make all use of it, for I use it only. Who comes here? What news, Baraccio?
I come yonder from a great supper. The prince, your brother, is royally entertained by Leonardo, and I can give intelligence of an intended marriage.
Will it serve for any model to build mischief on? Who's he for a fool that betroths himself to unquietness?
Mary, it is your brother's right hand.
Who? The most exquisite Claudio.
Even he.
A proper squire. And who? Which way looks he?
Mary, on Hero, the daughter and heir to Leonardo.
A very forward march chick. Come, let us thither. This may prove food to my displeasure. That young startup hath all the glory of my overthrow. If I can cross him any way, I bless myself every way. You are both sure and will assist me?
The death, my lord.
Let us to the great supper. Or cheers, the greater I am subdued. Would the cook were on my mind. Shall we go prove what's to be done?
We'll wait upon your lordship.
Was not Count John here at supper?
I saw him not.
How tartly that gentleman looks. I never can see him, for I'm heartburnt an hour after.
He is of a very melancholy disposition.
He were an excellent man, made just in the midway between him and Benedict. One is too like an image and says nothing, and the other is too like my lady's eldest son, ever so tattling.
By my troth, niece, thou wilt never get thee a husband if thou be so shrewd of thy tongue.
In faith, she's too cursed.
Too cursed is more than cursed. I shall lessen God's sendings that way. For God sends a cow cursed, short horns, and a cow too cursed, he sends none.
So by being too cursed, God will send you no horn.
Just as if he sent me no husband, for which blessing I mass him upon my knees every morning and evening. Lord, I cannot endure a husband with a beard on his face. I'd rather lie in the woolen.
You may light on a husband that hath no beard.
And what should I do with him? Dress him up in my apparel and make him my waiting gentlewoman? He that hath a beard is more than a youth, and he that hath no beard is less than a man. And he who is more than a youth is not for me, and he who is less than a man, I am not for him. Therefore, I may even take a sixpence of the beard and lead his apes into hell.
Well then, go you into hell.
No, but to the gate, and there will the double greet me like an old couple with horns on his head and say, "Get you to heaven, Beatrice, get you to heaven. Here's no place for you maids." So deliver I up my apes, and away for the heavens with St. Peter. He shows me where the bachelors sit, and there live we as merry as the day is long.
Well, niece, I trust you will be ruled by your father.
It is my cousin's duty to make a courtesy and say, "Father, as it may please you." But for all that, let him be a handsome fellow. Otherwise, make another courtesy and say, "Father, as it may please me."
Daughter, remember what I told you. If the prince doth solicit you in this kind, you know your answer.
If you not be wooed in good time, and if the prince be too important, tell him that there's measure in everything. For hear me, hero, wedding, wooing, and repenting is as a Scotch jig, a measure, and a sing pace. First of it is hot and hasty like a Scotch jig, as full as fantastical. Next comes the wedding, which is modest and mannerly like a measure, full of state, ancientry, and then comes repentance. And with his bad legs falls faster and faster to the sing pace until he sinks into his grave.
Well, niece, I hope to see you one day fitted with a husband.
No, not till God make men out of some other metal than earth. Would it not grieve a woman to be overmastered by a piece of valiant dust? No, uncle, I'll none. Plus, Adam's sons are my brethren, and I find it a sin to match my kindred.
You apprehend passing shrewdly.
I have a good eye, uncle. I can see a church by daylight.
The revelers are entering, brother. Make good room.
And when please you to say so?
When you have won my favor, for God to pin the loop should be like the case.
Speak love, you speak love.
Well, I would you did like me.
So would not I, for your own sake, for I have many ill qualities.
Which is what?
I say my prayers loud.
I love you the better. The hearers may cry amen.
God match me with a good dancer.
Amen.
And God will put on my sight when the dance is done. Answer clerk.
No more words. Clerk is absent.
I know you well enough, sir. You are Senior Antonia.
Not a word, I'm not.
I know you by the waggling of your head.
To tell you true, I counterfeit him.
You can never do him so ill well unless you're the very man. Here, his right hand, up and down, you are he, you are he.
Will you not tell me who told you so?
No, not now.
Nor will you tell me who you are?
You shall pardon me.
Why, that I got my good wit out of the 100 merry tales. It was Signor Benedict that said so.
What's he?
Why, he's the prince's jester, a very dull fool. Only his gift is in devising impossible slanders. I'm sure he's in the fleet. I would he had boarded me.
When I know the gentleman, I'll tell him what you say.
Do, but he'll break out a comparison or two of me, which pre-venturing on marked or laughed out will send him into a melancholy. We must follow the leaders.
In every good thing.
Sure. My brother's amorous on Hero, and hath withdrawn her father, break with him about it. The ladies follow her, and but one buys her remains.
And it is Claudio. I know him by his bearing.
Are you not Signor Benedict?
You know me well. I'm he.
Signor, you are very near my brother in his love. He is enamored on Hero. I pray you dissuade him from her. She is no equal for his birth. You may do the part of an honest man in it.
How know you he loves her?
I heard him swear his affection.
So did I too, and he swore he would marry her tonight.
Come, let us to the banquet.
Thus answer I in the name of Benedict. But hear these ill news with the ears of Claudio. 'Tis certain so. The prince woos for himself. Friendship is constant in all other things, save in the office and affairs of love. Therefore, all hearts in love must use their own tongues. Let every eye negotiate for itself, and trust no agent. For beauty is a witch against whose charms faith melteth into blood. This is an accident of hourly proof, which I mistrusted not. Farewell, therefore, hero.
Count Claudio.
Yea, the same.
Come, will you go with me?
Whither?
Even to the next willow. About your own business, County. How will you wear the garland? About your neck like an usurer's chain, or under your arm like a lieutenant's scarf? You must wear it one way, for the prince hath got your hero.
I wish him joy of her.
Why, that's spoken like an honest drover. And so they sell bullocks. But did you think the prince would have served you thus?
I pray you, leave me.
Ho! Now you strike like the blind man. 'Twas the boy who stole your meat, and you'll be the post.
If it will not be, I'll leave you.
Alas, poor hurt fowl, now will he creep into sedges. But that my lady Beatrice should know me and not know me. The prince's fool, ha! It may be I go into that title because I am merry. Yea, but so I'm apt to do myself wrong. I'm not so reputed. It is the base, so bitter disposition of Beatrice, which puts the world into her person and so gives me out. Well, I'll be revenged as I may.
Now, Signor, where's the Count? Did you see him?
Troth, my lord, I found him here as melancholy as a lodge in a warren. I told him, and I think I told him true, that your grace had got the goodwill of this lady. And I offered him my company to a willow tree, either to make him a garland as being forsaken, or to bind him of a rod as being worthy to be whipped.
To be whipped? What's his fault?
The flat transgression of a schoolboy who, being overjoyed with finding a bird's nest, shows it his companion, and he steals it?
Wilt thou make a trust a transgression? The transgression is in the stealer.
Yet it had not been amiss. The rod had been made, and the garland too. The garland which he may have worn himself, but the rod which he may have bestowed upon you, who, as I take it, have stolen his bird's nest.
I will but teach them to sing and restore them to the owner.
If their singing answer your saying, by my faith you speak honestly.
The lady Beatrice hath a quarrel to you. The gentleman that danced with her told her she is much wronged by you.
Oh, she misused me beyond the endurance of a block. She told me, not thinking I had been myself, that I was the prince's jester, that I was duller than a great thaw, huddling jest upon jest with such impossible conveyance upon me, that I stood like a man in a mark with a whole army shooting at me. She speaks poniards, and every word stabs. If her breath were as terrible as her terminations, there'd be none living near her. She'd inspect to the North Star.
Look, here she comes.
Would your grace command me any service to the world's end? I would do any embassage to the farthest inch of Asia. Do any embassage to the pygmies rather than hold 3 words conference with this army. You have no employment for me?
None but to desire your good company.
Oh God, so this is the dish I love not. I cannot endure my lady tongue!
Come, lady, come. You have lost the heart of Signor Benedict.
Aye, my lord. He lent it to me a while ago. I gave him use for it. Double heart for my single one. Married. Once before he won it of me with false dice. Therefore your lordship may as well say, I have lost it.
You have put him down, lady. You have put him down.
So I would not he should do me, my lord, lest I prove the mother of fools. I brought Count Claudio, whom you sent me to seek.
What? How now, Count? Wherefore are you sad?
Not sad, my lord.
How then? Sick?
Neither, my lord.
Here, Claudio, I have wooed thy name and fair here as wine. I have broke with her father, and his goodwill obtained. Name the day of marriage, and God give thee joy.
Count, take of me my daughter, and with her my fortunes. His grace hath made the match, and all graces say amen to it.
Speak, Count. 'Tis your cue. Silence is the perfectest herald of joy. I were but little happy if I could say how much. Lady, as you are mine, I am yours. I give away myself for you, and dote upon the exchange. Speak, cousin, or if you cannot, stop his mouth with a kiss and let him not speak either.
In faith, lady, you have a merry heart.
Aye, my lord, I thank it. Poor fool likes to keep on the windy side of care. Look, my cousin tells him in his ear that he is in her heart. So she doth, cousin. Good Lord for alliance! Thus goes everyone to the world but I. Now I am sunburnt. I may sit in the corner and cry, hi-ho, for a husband.
Lady Beatrice, I will get you one.
I'd rather have one of your father's gettings. Has your grace nearer a brother like you? Father's got excellent husbands, if a maid could come by them.
Will you have me, lady?
No! Unless I can have another one for working days. Your grace is too costly to wear every day. But pardon me. I was born to speak all mirth, no matter.
Your silence most offends me, as to be married best becomes you, for out of question you are born in a merry hour.
Aye, my lord, my mother cried, but then a star danced, and under it was I born. Cousins! God give you joy.
Niece, will you see to these things we spoke of?
I cry you mercy, uncle, by your grace's pardon.
By my troth, a pleasant-spirited lady.
Indeed, my lord, there's little of the melancholy element in her. She is never sad, save but when she is sleeping, and not even then so. For my daughter hath told me that she hath often dreamt of unhappiness and waked herself with laughing.
She cannot endure to hear tell of a husband.
Oh, by no means. She mocks all her wooers off suit.
She were an excellent wife for Benedict.
Oh, Lord, my lord, were they but a week married, they'd talk themselves mad.
County Claudio, when means you to go to church? Tomorrow, my lord. Time goes on crutches to love have all his rights.
Not till Monday, my dear son. Hence just the 7th night, and still a time too short to bring to light all things in my mind.
Come, you shake your head at so long a breathing, but I warrant thee, Claudio, the time shall not go dully by us. I will in the interim undertake one of Hercules' labors, which is to bring Signor Benedict and the Lady Beatrice into a mountain of affection, the one with the other. I would fain have it a match, and I doubt not but to fashion it, if you three will but administer such assistance as I shall give you direction.
My lord, I am for you, though it cost me 10 nights' watchings.
And I, my lord.
And you too, gentle hero?
I will do any modest office, my lord, to help my cousin to a good husband.
And Benedict is not the unhopeless husband that I know. Thus far can I praise him. He is of a noble strain, of proved valor and confirmed honesty. I will teach you how to humor your cousin that she shall fall in love with Benedict. And I, with your two helps, will so practice on Benedict that, in spite of his quick wit and queasy stomach, he shall fall in love with Beatrice. If we can do this, Cupid is no longer an archer. His glory shall be ours, for we are the only love gods. Is no one with me? And I will tell you my drift.
It is so. Count Claudio shall marry the daughter of Leonardo.
Yea, my lord, but I can cross it.
Any bar, any cross, any impediment will be medicinable to me. I am sick in displeasure to him. Whatsoever comes before his affection ranges evenly with mine. How canst thou cross this marriage?
Not honestly, my lord, but so covertly that no dishonesty shall appear to me.
Show me briefly how.
I think I told your lordship here since how much I'm in the favor of Margaret, the waiting gentlewoman and hero.
I remember.
I can, at any unreasonable instant of the night, appoint her to look out at her lady's chamber window.
What life is in that to be the death of this marriage?
The poison of that lies with you to temper. Go you to the prince your brother. Spare not to tell him that he has wronged his honor in marrying the renowned Claudio, whose estimation you mightily hold up to a contaminated stale, such one as hero.
What proof shall I make of that?
Proof enough to misuse the prince, to vex Claudio, to undo hero, and to kill Leonardo. Look you for any other issue?
Only to despite them, I will endeavor anything.
Go then. Find me a meet hour to draw Don Pedro and the Count Claudio alone. Tell them that you know that hero loves me. They will scarcely believe this without trial. Offer them instances that bear no less likelihood than to see me at her chamber window, hear me call Margaret hero, hear Margaret term me Claudio, and bring them to see this the very night before the intended wedding. For in the meantime, I will so fashion the matter that hero shall be absent, and there shall appear such seeming truth of hero's disloyalty that jealousy shall be called assurance, and all preparations overthrow.
Grow this to what adverse issue it can. I will put it in practice. Be cunning in the working this, and thy fees 1,000 ducats.
Be constant in your accusation, and my cunning shall not shame me.
I will go presently learn their day of marriage.
Too much wonder that one man, seeing how much another man is a fool when he dedicates his behaviors to love, will, after he hath laughed at such shallow follies in others, become the argument of his own scorn by falling in love. And such a man as Claudio. I have known when he would have walked 10 miles afoot to see a good armor. And now will he lie 10 nights awake, carving the fashion of a new doublet. He was wont to speak plain and to the purpose, like an honest man and a soldier. And now is he turned to orthography. His words are a very fantastical banquet. Just so many strange dishes. Shall I, too, be converted and see with these eyes? I cannot tell. I think not. I will not be sworn, but love may transform me to an oyster. But I will take my oath on it. Till he hath made an oyster of me, he shall never make me such a fool. One woman is fair, yet I am well. Another is virtuous, yet I am well. Another wise, yet I am well. But till all graces come into one woman shall not come into my grace. Fair she shall be, that's certain. Rich or all not. Wise or not for me. Virtuous or I'll never cheapen her. Noble or not I for an angel. Mild or come not near me. Of good discourse, an excellent musician, and her hair be of what color it please God. Here come the prince and Monsieur Love. I will hide me in the arbor.
Come, shall we hear this music?
Yea, my good lord. How still the evening is, as hushed on purpose to grace harmony.
See you where Benedict hath hid himself?
Oh, very well, my lord. The music ends, we'll fit the kid fox with a pennyworth.
Come, Balthazar, we'll hear that song again.
Oh, good, my lord, tax not such bad a voice to slander music any more than once.
Nay, pray thee, come, man. If thou wilt hold longer argument, do it in notes.
Note this before my notes. There's not a note of mine that's of worth the noting.
Why, these are very cross that he speaks. Notes, notes, for sous and nothing.
Son of all, lady, son of all, don't so cold and heavy. One foot in the sea and one on shore, to wandering constant never. And sigh not so, but let them go in the year of life and bonny, converting all your sounds of woe into hey, nonny, nonny. Sing no more, did he sing no more? A dumb, so dull and heavy. The thought of man was ever so, since summer birds was leaving. Then sigh not so, but let them go and be life and bonny, converting all your sounds of woe into hey, nonny, nonny.
By my troth, a good song.
And an ill singer, my lord.
Yea, Mary, dost thou hear, Balthazar? I pray thee get us some excellent music, for tomorrow night we would have at the Lady Hero's chamber window.
The best I can, my lord.
Do so. Farewell. Come hither, Leonardo. What was it you told me of today, that your niece Beatrice was in love with Signor Benedict?
Oh, aye. Stock on, the foal sits. I did never think that lady would have loved any man.
No, nor I neither, and most wonderful that she should so dote on Signor Benedict, whom she hath in all outward appearances seemed ever to abhor.
Is it possible, since the wind in that corner?
By my troth, I know not what to think, but that she loves him with an enraged infection. It is past the infinite of thought.
Maybe she doth but counterfeit?
Fake, like enough.
Oh Lord, counterfeit? Never was there counterfeit of passion came so near the true life of passion as she discovers it.
Why? What effects of passion shows she?
Bait the hook well. This fish will bite.
What effects, my lord? She will sit. You heard my daughter tell you how.
She did indeed.
How, I pray you? You amaze me. I would have thought her spirit had been invincible against all assaults of affection.
Indeed, so would I, and especially against such as Benedict.
I should think this a gull, but that the white-bearded fellow speaks it. Knavery cannot sure hide himself in such true reverence.
He hath ta'en the infection. Hold it up.
Has she made her affection known to Benedict?
No, and swears she never will. That's her torment.
Is even so. So your daughter says, "Shall I," says she, "that have so often countered him with scorn, write to him that I love him?"
So says she as she begins to write, for she'll be up 20 times a night, and there will she sit in her smock till she hath writ a sheet of paper. My daughter tells us all.
Now you talk of a sheet of paper. I remember a pretty jest your daughter told us of.
Oh, that when she had written and looked it over, she found Benedict and Beatrice between the sheets.
That!
Yes, she tore the letter into 1,000 halfpence, railed that she could be so immodest as to love one who would flout her. For, says she, I measure him by my own convictions. For I would flout him if he wrote me, yea, though I love him, I would.
Then down upon her knees she falls, weeps, sobs, tears her hair, beats her heart, prays, curses. Oh, sweet Benedict, God give me patience!
It were good that he knew of it by some other. She will not discover it.
Were it, think you?
Hero thinks surely she will die, for she says she will die ere he make her love known, and she will die if he woo her rather than bait one single breath of her accustomed crosses.
Well, she doth well. If she should make tender her love, 'tis very possible he'll scorn her, for the man, as you know, has a contemptible spirit. Though, he does indeed show some sparks that are blithe wit.
And I take him to be valiant.
As Hector, I assure you, and in the managing of quarrels, you may say he is wise, for either he avoids them with great discretion or undertakes them with the most Christian-like fear. She is wise in everything but in loving Benedict. I would she had bestowed this dotage on me. I would have daffed all her other respects and made her half myself. I pray you tell Benedict of it and hear what he will say.
Never tell him, my lord. Let her wear it out with good counsel.
Well, I am sorry for your niece. Shall I go seek Benedict and tell him of our love?
Nay, never tell him, my lord. Let her wear it out with good counsel.
Well, we'll hear further of it by your daughter. Let it cool the while. I love Benedict well, and I could wish he would modestly examine himself to see how unworthy he is so good a lady.
My lord, will you walk? Supper is ready.
If you do not dote on her upon this, I will never trust my expectation.
Let there be the same net spread for her, and that must your daughter and her gentlewoman carry. The sport will be when they hold one in opinion of another's dotage, and no such matter. That's the scene as I would see, which will merely be a dumb show. Let us send her to call him into dinner.
This can be no trick. The conference was sadly bored. If the truth of this from Hero. Love me? Why, it must be requited. I hear how I am censured. They say I will bear myself proudly if I perceive the love come from her. They say, too, that she will rather die than show any sign of affection. I did never think to marry. I must not seem proud. Happy are they who can hear their detractions and put them to mending. They say the lady is fair. 'Tis a truth. I can bear them witness. And Virtuous. 'Tis so, I cannot reprove it. And wise, but for loving me. It is no great addition to her wit, nor no great admission of her folly, for I will be horribly in love with her. I may chance have some odd quirks and remnants of wit broken on me since I have railed so long against marriage, but doth not the appetite alter? A man loves in his youth the meat which he cannot endure in his age. Shall these quips and sentences, paper bullets of the brain, awe a man from the career of his humor? No. The world must be peopled. When I said I should die a bachelor, I did not think I should live till I were married. Here comes Lady Beatrice. By this day she's a fair lady. I think I spy some marks of love in her.
Against my will, I am set to come bid thee into dinner.
Lady Beatrice, I thank thee for thy pains.
Took as many pains for those things as the pains you took to thank me. Had it been painful, I wouldn't have come.
You take pleasure then in the message?
As much pleasure as you may take upon a knife's point. You have no stomach, signor. Fare you well.
Against my will, I am sent to come bid thee come into dinner. There's a double meaning in that. I took as many pains for those thanks as you take pains to thank me. That's as much as to say, any pains I take for thee are as good as thanks. If I do not take pity on her, if I do not love her, I am a villain. I will go get her picture.
Good Margaret, run thee to the parlor. Thou shalt not find my cousin Beatrice. Whisper her ear and tell her I and Ursula do walk in the orchard, and our whole discourse is all of her. Bid her steal into the pleached bower. There will she hide her to listen to our purpose. This is my office. Bear thee gone, and leave us alone.
I'll make her come. I warrant you presently.
Now, Ursula, as we do trace this alley up and down, our talk must only be of Benedict. When I do name him, let it be thy part to praise him more than ever man did merit. Now begin, for look where Beatrice like a lock ring runs, close by the ground to hear our conference.
No, truly, Ursula, she is too disdainful. Her spirits are as coy and wild as haggards of the rock.
But are you sure that Benedict loves Beatrice so entirely?
So says the prince and my new betrothed lord.
And did they bid you tell her of it, Fleda? They did entreat me to acquaint her of it, but I persuaded them, if they love Benedict, to wish him rest with affection, and never to let Beatrice know of it.
Why did you so? Doth not gentlemen deserve as full fortune a bed as Beatrice shall couch upon?
Ah, true, O gods of love. I know he doth deserve as much as may be yielded to a man.
But nature never framed a woman's heart of prouder stuff than that of Beatrice.
Disdain and scorn ride sparkling in her eyes, misprizing what they look on, and her wit values itself so highly that to her all matters else seem weak. She cannot love, nor take no shape, nor project of affection. She is so self-endeared.
Sure, I think so. Therefore, Sir Lee was not good she knew of his love, lest she'd make a sport of it.
True, but I never yet saw a man, how wise, how noble, how young, how rarely featured, but she would spell him backwards if fair-faced. She would swear the gentleman should be her sister. If tall, a lance ill-headed. If low, an agate very vilely cut. If speaking, why, a vein blown with all the winds. And if silent, why, a block moved with none. So turns she every man the wrong side out, and never gives to truth and virtue that which simpleness and merit purchaseth.
Sure, such carping is not commendable.
But who doth tell her so? If I should speak, she would mock me into air. Oh, she would laugh me out of myself, caress me to death with wit. So instead, let Benedict, like covered fire, consume away in sighs. It is a better death than die with mocks.
Yet tell her of it. Hear what she will have to say.
No, no. Instead, I will go to Benedict and counsel him to fight against his affections. And truly, I'll devise some honest slander to stain my cousin with. One doth not know how much an ill word may empoison liking.
Oh, do not do your cousin such a wrong. She cannot be so much with true judgment, having so swift and excellent a wit she is prized to have, as to refuse so rare a gentleman as Senior Benedict.
True. He is the only man in Italy, always excepted my dear Claudio.
I pray you not be angry with me, madam, speaking my fancy, Senior Benedict, for shape, bearing, argument, and valor, goes foremost in report through Italy.
True. He hath an excellent good name.
In excellence did earn it ere he hath. When are you married, madam?
Why, every day tomorrow. Come, go in. I'll show thee some apparel and have thy counsel which is best to furnish me tomorrow.
She is lying, I warrant you. We have caught her. If it proves so, then loving goes by halves. Some Cupids kill with arrows, some with traps.
What fires in mine ears? Can this be true? Stand I condemned for pride and scorn so much? Contempt, farewell, and maiden pride adieu. No glory lives behind the back of such. And Benedict, love on. I will requite thee. Take me my wild heart to thy loving hand. Thou dost love, my kindness shall incite thee to bind our loves up in a holy band. For others say thou dost deserve, and I believe it better than reporting me.
I'm not as I have been.
So says I. Methinks you are sadder.
I hope he be in love.
Hang him, Truant. There's no true drop of blood in him to be truly touched by love. If he be sad, he wants money.
I've toothache.
What? Sigh for the toothache?
Well, anyone can master a grief, but he that has it.
Yet say I, he is in love. If he be not in love with some woman, there is no believing the old signs. He brushes his hat morning. What should that bode?
Hath any man seen him at the barber's?
No, but the barber's man hath been seen with him. The old ornament of his cheeks hath already stuffed tennis balls.
Indeed, he looks younger than he did by the loss of a beard.
Nay, he rubs himself with the bay. Can you smell him out by that?
That's as much to say, the sweet youth's in love. When was he wont to wash his face? Nay, but his jesting spirit, which is now crept into a lute string and is now governed by stops.
Indeed, that tells a heavy tale for him. Conclude, he is in love.
Nay, but I know who loves him.
That's what I know too. One that I warrant knows him not.
Yes, and his ill conditions, and in despite of all, dies for him.
Yet is there still no cure for the toothache. Walk aside with me, old senior. I've studied 8 or 9 wise words to speak to you, which these hobby horses must not hear.
By my life, to break with him about Beatrice.
Oh, 'tis even so. Hero and Margaret have by this played their parts with Beatrice, and now the two bears will not fight one another when they meet.
My lord and brother, God save you.
Good evening, brother.
If your liege observed, I would speak with you.
In private?
If it please you, yet Count Claudio may hear, for what I would speak of concerns him.
What's the matter?
Means your lordship to be married tomorrow.
You know he does.
I know not that he knows what I know.
If there be any impediment, I pray you discover it.
You may think I love you not. Let that appear hereafter, and aim better at me by that I will now manifest. For my brother, I think he holds thee well, and in dearness of heart hath hope to effect your ensuing marriage. Surely, suit ill spent, and labor ill bestowed.
Why, what's the matter?
I came hither to tell you. The lady is disloyal.
Who? Hero?
Even she, Leonardo's hero, your hero, every man's hero.
Disloyal?
The word is too good to paint out her wickedness. I could say she were worse. Think you have a worse title, and I'll fit her to it. Wonder not till further warned. Go but with me tonight. You shall see her chamber window entered, even the night before her wedding day. If you love her, then tomorrow wed her. But it would better fit your honor to change your mind.
May this be so?
I will not think it.
If you dare not trust that you see, confess not that you know. If you will follow me, I'll show you enough, and when you have seen more and heard more, proceed accordingly.
If I see anything tonight why I should not marry her, tomorrow in the congregation where I should wed, there will I shame her.
And as I wooed for thee to obtain her, I will join with thee to disgrace her.
I'll disparage her no farther till you are my witness. Bear it coldly but till midnight, and let the issue show itself.
Oh, day untowardly turned.
Oh, mischief strangely thwarting.
Oh, plague right well prevented. So you will say when you will see the sequel.
Are you good men and true?
Yea, or else it were pity that they should suffer salvation, body and soul.
Nay, that were a punishment too good for them, if they should have any allegiance in them, being chosen for the prince's watch.
I'll give them their charge, neighbor Dogberry.
First, who think you to be the most disartless men to be constable of the watch?
Hugh Oakcake, sir? Or George Seacole, for he can write and read.
Come hither, neighbor Seacole. God hath blessed you with a good name. To be a well-favored man is a gift of fortune, but to write and read comes by nature.
Both which, Master Constable?
You have. I knew that'd be your answer. Well, for your favor, sir, why, give God thanks, and make no boast of it. And as for your writing and reading, let that appear when there is no need for such vanities. This thought, you are the most senseless and fit man for constable of the watch. Therefore, bear you the lantern. Here is your charge. 1. You will comprehend all vagrant men. And 2. You will bid any man stand in the prince's name.
How if he will not stand?
Why then, take no note of him, and let him go. And presently, call the rest of the watch together, and thank God you are rid of a knave.
If he will not stand when he is bidden, he is none of the prince's subjects.
True, and you are to meddle with none but the prince's subjects. You are also to make no noise in the streets, for the watch to babble and to talk is most tolerable and not to be endured.
We would rather sleep than talk. We know it belongs to a watch.
You speak like a most ancient and quiet watchman, for I cannot see how sleeping should offend. Only take care that your bills be not stolen. If you meet a thief, you may suspect of him, by the nature of your office, to be no true man. And for such kind of men, the less you meddle or make with them, the more is for your honesty.
If we know him to be a thief, shall we not lay hands on him?
Well, truly, by your office you may, but I think they that touch pitch would be defiant. The most peaceable way for you, if you do take a thief, is to have him show himself what he is and let him steal out of your company.
You have been always called a merciful man, partner.
Truly, I would not hang a dog by my will, much more a man who hath any honesty in him.
If you hear a child cry out in the night, you must call to the nurse and bid her still it.
How if the nurse be asleep and will not hear us?
12. Why then, depart in peace, and let the child wake her crying. For a ewe that will not hear her lamb when it baws, will not hear her calf when it bleats.
'Tis very true.
Well, masters, this is the end of your charge. Keep your neighbor's counsel and your own, and good night. Come, neighbor.
Well, masters, we hear a charge. Let us go sit here upon church premises till 2, then all spend.
One word more, honest neighbors. I pray you keep watch about Signor Leonardo's door. With the wedding being there tonight, there's a great coil about. Adieu, adieu, be vigilant, I beseech you.
What, Conrad?
Peace, stir not.
Conrad, I said.
Here, man, I'm at thy elbow. And now forward with thy tale.
Stand thee close then under this penthouse, for it drizzles rain. And I am a true drunkard under all.
Some treason, masters, yet stand close.
Therefore know, I have earned of Don John 1,000 ducats.
Is it possible any villainy should be so dear?
Thou shouldst rather ask if it were possible any villainy should be so rich, for when rich villains make the poor ones may make what price they will.
Still, I wonder at it.
This shows thou art unconfirmed. But know that tonight I wooed Margaret, the lady hero's gentlewoman, by the name of Hero. She leads me out at her mistress's chamber window, bids me 1,000 times good night. I tell this tale vilely. I should wish to believe how the Prince Claudio and my master, planted place and possessed by my master Don John, saw far off in the orchard this amiable encounter.
And thought they Margaret was hero.
2 of them did, the Prince and Claudio, but the devil my master knew she was Margaret, and partly by his oaths, which did first possess them, partly by the dark night, which did deceive them, but chiefly by my villainy, which did confirm any slander Don John had made. Away went Claudio, in rage, swore he would meet her as bid next morning at the temple, and there, before the entire congregation, shame her for what he saw overnight, and send her home again without a husband
In charge of the princess name. Stand.
Call up the Red Master Constable. We are here caught the most jaded piece of literature that's ever known to the Commonwealth.
Masters, never speak. We charge you. Let us obey you to come with us.
You'd like to prove a goodly commodity.
Commodity of question, I warned you. Come, we'll obey you.
Ursula, fetch my cousin and desire her to rise.
I will, lady.
And bid her come hither. Well,
Troth, your other rubato were better.
No, pray thee, good Mag, I'll wear this.
Why, my troth's not so good, and I warrant your cousin will say so.
My cousin art a fool, and thou art another. I'll wear none but this. Good morrow, cuz.
good morrow, sweet hero.
Why, how now? Thou speakst in a sickly tune.
I'm all out of other tune, methinks. Why, 'tis almost 5 o'clock. 'Tis time you were ready. By my troth, I am sick. I ho.
For a hawk, a horse, or a husband.
For the letter that begins them all. H.
Well, and you be not turned Turk, there is no more sailing by the star.
What means the fool, trow?
Nothing I, but God said everyone their heart's desire.
These gloves the Count sent me, they are an excellent perfume.
By my troth, I am sick.
Get you some of this Cardus Benedictus and lay it on your heart. This the
There, thou prickest her with a thistle.
Benedictus? Why Benedictus? You have any moral in this Benedictus?
moral, by my troth I have no moral meaning. I meant plain holy thistle. You may think perchance that I think you are in love, yet Benedict was such a one as you, and now is he become a man. He swore he would never marry, and yet now, in despite of his heart, he eats his meat without grudging. And how you may be converted I know not, but methinks you look with your eyes as other women do.
What is this pace that thy tongue keeps?
Not a false gallop.
Madame, withdraw! The prince, the count, senior Benedict, Don John, all the gallants of town, come to fetch you to church.
Come to dress me, good cut, good man, good Ursula.
What would you with me, honest neighbors?
Marry, sir, we have some confidence that discerns you nearly.
Be brief, I pray you, for it is a busy time with me.
Marry, sir, this it is.
Yes, in truth it is, sir.
What is it, good friends?
Gindon Burgess, sir, speaks a little of the matter. A good old man, sir, and his wits are not quite as blunt as, God help, I would desire they were, but, in faith, as honest as the skin between his brows.
Yes, I thank God I'm as honest as any man living. That is an old man, and no honester than I.
All comparisons are onerous. Palabrous, neighbor Burgess.
Neighbors, you are tedious.
Oh, if it pleases your worship to say so, but we are but the poor duke's officers. However, for mine own part, if I were as tedious as a king, I would find it in my heart to bestow it all upon your worship.
All thy tediousness on me, eh? I'd fain know what you have to say.
Marry, sir, our watch tonight, accepting your worship's presence, hath taken a couple of as errant knaves as any in Messina.
A good old man, sir. He'll be talking. You know what they say. When the age is in, the wit is out. God help us. It is a world to see. Well said, neighbor Burgess. Well, God's a good man, and two men ride of a horse, one must ride behind. And on his soul faith, sir, but my troth he is, as ever broke bread. But God is to be worshipped. Two men are not alike. Alas, good neighbor.
Indeed, neighbor, he comes too short of you.
Gifts that God gives.
I must leave you.
Marry, sir, our watch, sir, have indeed comprehended two auspicious persons, and would have them this morning examined before your worship.
Take their examination yourself and bring it me. I am now in great haste, as it may appear unto you.
It shall be suffigance.
Drink some wine ere you go. Fare thee well.
Go, good neighbor, go. Get you to Francis Seacole. Bid him bring his pen and inkhorn to the jail. There we shall examination these men.
And we must do it wisely.
We will spare for no wit, I warrant you. Here's what shall bring them to a non-com. Only get the learned writer to set down our excommunication and meet me at the jail.
Friar Francis, be brief, speaking only to the plain form of marriage. You shall recount their particular duties afterwards.
You come hither, my lord, to marry this lady?
No.
To be married to her, friar, you come to marry her.
You come hither, my lady, to be married to this count?
I do.
If either of you know of any inward impediment why you should not be conjoined, I charge you on your souls to utter it.
Know you any, hero?
None, my lord.
Know you any, count?
I dare make his answer.
None. Oh, what men dare do, what men may do, what men daily do, not knowing what they do. Stand thee by, friar. Father, by your leave, will you with free and unconstrained soul give me this maid, your daughter?
As freely, son, as God did give her me.
And what have I to give you back, whose worth may counterpoise this rich and precious gift?
Nothing, unless you render her again.
Sweet prince, you learn me noble thankfulness. There, Leonardo, take her back again. Give not this rotten orange to your friend. She's but the sign and semblance of her honor. Behold how like a maid she blushes here. Oh, what authority and show of truth can cunning sin cover itself withal? Comes not that blood as modest evidence to witness simple virtue? Would you all that see her here not swear that she were a maid by these exterior shows? But she is none. She knows the heat of a luxurious bed.
What mean you by this, my lord?
Not to be married. Not to knit my soul to an approved wanton.
My lord, if you in your own proof have vanquished the resistance of her youth and made defeat of her virginity.
I know what you will say. If I have known her, you will say she did embrace me as husband, and so extenuate beforehand sin. No, Leonardo, I never tempted her with word too large, but as a brother to his sister, showed bashful sincerity and comely love.
And seem I ever otherwise to you?
Out on thee seeming, I will write against it. You seemed to me as Diane in her orb, as chaste as the bud ere it were blown. But you are more temperate in your blood than Venus, or those pampered animals that rage in savage sensuality.
My lord, well that he doth speak so wide.
do I but dream?
Sir, they are spoken, and these things are true.
This looks not like a nuptial.
True, oh God!
Let me but move one question to your daughter. And by the fatherly and kindly love that you have in her, bid her answer truly.
I charge thee do so as thou art my child.
Oh God, how I am beset! What kind of catechizing call you this?
To make you answer truly to your name.
Is it not Hero? Who can blot that name with any just reproach?
Mary, what can Hero? Hero itself can blot out Hero's virtue. What man was he talked with you yesternight, out at your window betwixt 12 and 1? If you are a maid, answer to this.
I spoke with no man at that hour, my lord.
Why, then you are no maid. Leonardo, I'm sorry you must hear. Upon mine hour, myself, my brother, and this Greek count did see her here at that hour last night, talk with a ruffian at her chamber window, who, most indeed, like a liberal villain, confessed the vile encounter they have had 1,000 times in secret.
5 are not to be named, my lord, not to be spoke of. There's not chastity enough in language without offense to utter them. Thus, pretty lady, I'm sorry for that much misgovernment.
O hero, what a hero hadst thou been, if half thy outward graces were placed about thy thoughts and counsels of thy heart. Fare thee well. Farewell, thou pure impiety and impious purity. For thee, I'll lock up all the gates of love, and on my eyelids shall conjecture hang, turning all thoughts of beauty into thoughts of harm. Never shall it be more gracious.
Hath no man's dagger here a point for me?
Oh no, cousin, just wherefore sink you down?
Come, let us go. These things come thus to light, smother her spirit son.
How doth the lady?
Dead, I think! Help, uncle, Signor Benedict! Hero, my hero! Friar!
Fate take not away thy heavy hand. Death is the fairest cover for her shame that could be wished for.
Oh no, cousin Hero!
Have comfort, lady.
Dost thou live? Do not look up, hero, do not ope thine eyes. Thought I thou would not quickly die? Thought I thy spirit stronger than thy chains, myself would, in reward of reproach, strike at thy life! Oh, why wast thou ever lovely in mine eyes? Why did I not with charitable hand take up a beggar's issue at my gates? Who, smirched thus, mired in infamy, I might have said, no part of it is mine. This shame derives itself from unknown loins. But mine did I love, mine did I praise, and mine was I proud on. Mine so much so that I myself was to myself not mine, valuing of her. And she, why she hath fallen into a pit of ink that the wide sea hath dropped too few to wash her clean again, and salt too little that may season give her foul, tainted flesh.
Sir, be patient. For my part, I am so attired in wonder I know not what to say.
On my soul, my cousin is malign!
Lady, were you her bedfellow last night?
No, truly not, although until last night I have for these last 12 months been her bedfellow.
Confirmed! Oh, this stronger maid which was first bound up with ribs of iron. Would the prince lie and Claudia lie who loved her so that, speaking of her foulness, washed it with tears? Hence from her! Let her die!
Hear me a little, for I have only come to this course of fortune by noting of the lady. 1,000 blushing apparitions I have marked to come in her face. 1,000 innocent shames beat away those blushes. And in her eye I have seen a fire appear, to burn the air these princes hold against her maiden truth. Call me a fool. Trust not my reading nor observations, which with experimental seal the warrant of my book. Trust not my age, reverence, calling, nor divinity. If this sweet lady lie not here guiltless under some biting error. Lady, what man is he you are accused of?
They did to accuse me, no, but I know none. If I know more of any man than that which maiden modesty doth for it, let all my sins lack mercy. Father, prove me that I converse with any man, or that I yesternight had the change of words with any creature. Refuse me, hate me, torture me to death.
There's some misprison in these princes.
them have the very bent of honor. And if their wisdoms be misled in this, the practice of it lives in John the Bastard, whose spirits toil in frame abilities.
I do not know. If they speak but truth of her, these hands shall tear her. If they wrong her honor, the proudest of them shall well hear of it. For time hath not yet so dried this blood of mine, nor age so eat at my invention, nor chaos made such havoc of my means, nor the good life reft me so much of friends, but they will find, awakened in such kind, both strength of limb and policy of mind, quality and choice of friends, to quit me of them thoroughly.
Pause a while, and let my counsel sway you in this matter. Your daughter here, the princess, have left for dead. Let her a while be secretly kept in, and publish it that she is dead indeed. Maintain a mourning ostentation, and on thy family's old monument hang mournful epitaphs, and do all rites that appertain to a burial.
What good were this? What would it do?
Mary, this well carried on her behalf, shall change slander to remorse. This is some good. She dying upon the instant she is accused, will be lamented, pitied, and excused of all hearers. So shall it fare with Claudio. When he shall hear that she died upon his words, the idea of her life will more sweetly creep into his study of imagination than when she lived indeed. Then shall he mourn, if love ever had interest in his liver, and wish he had not so accused her. No, though he thought his accusation true. And in this, he will be not justified. But let this be so, and warrant that the event will be better shaped than I can lay down in likelihood. But if this be leveled false, the supposition of her death will quench the wonder of her infamy. And if it sort not well, you may conceal her, best befits her wounded reputation in some reclusive and religious life out of all eyes, minds, tongues, and injuries.
Signor Leonardo, let the friar advise you. And though you know my inwardness and love is very much unto the prince and Claudio, yet will I deal in this as secretly and justly as the soul should with the body.
Being thy flow in grief, the smallest twine may lead me.
'Tis well consented. Presently away. For strange sores do strangely strain the cure. Come, lady, die to live. This wedding day is perhaps but prolonged. Have patience and endure.
Lady Beatrice, have you wept all this while?
Yea, and I will continue to do so a while longer.
I will not desire that.
You have no reason. I do it freely.
Surely, I do believe your fair cousin is wrong.
And what would the man deserve of me that would right her?
Is there any way to show such friendship?
A very even way, but no such friend.
May a man do it?
It is a man's office, but not yours.
I do love nothing in the world so much as you, Beatrice. Is not that strange?
Strange is the thing I know not. It was possible for me to say that I have loved no one as well as I have you. And yet, believe me not, and yet I lie not. I confess nothing, nor I deny nothing. I feel sorry for my cousin.
Lady Beatrice, thou lovest me.
Do not swear and eat it.
I will swear on it that you love me, and I will make him eat it that says I love not you.
Will you not eat thy word?
With no sauce that can be devised to it. I protest I love thee.
Why then? God forbid thee.
Of what offense, sweet Beatrice?
You have met me at a happy hour. I was about to protest I love thee.
And do so with all thy heart.
I love you with so much of my heart that there is none left to protest.
Come, bid me do anything for you.
Kill Claudio!
Not for the wide world.
Kill me to deny it! Farewell!
Tarry, sweet
I'm
Beatrice.
gone, yet I testimony and a goodly count confect. God that I were a man for his sake, or that I had a friend who would be a man for my sake. Manhood is melted into curtsies, valor into compliment, and men are only termed in tongues, and trim ones too. He's now as valiant as Hercules, who tells a lie and lives by it. I cannot be a man with wishing, therefore I will die, a woman with breathing.
Tarry, sweet Beatrice. By this hand I love thee.
Use it for my love in some other way than swearing by it.
Think you in your soul the Count Claudio hath wronged Hero?
Yea, as sure as I have a thought or a soul.
Enough. I am engaged. I will challenge him. I will kiss your hand, and so I leave you. By this hand Claudio shall render me a dear account. As you hear of me, so think of me. Comfort your cousin. I must say she is dead, and so I leave you.
Has our whole dissembly appeared?
Oh, a stool and a cushion. For the sexton?
Which be the malefactors?
Mary, that am I, and my partner.
Nay, that's certain. We have the exhibition to examine.
But which are the offenders that are to be examined? Let them come forth before Master Constable.
Yeah, let them come before me. What is your name, friends?
Baraccio.
Pray write down Baraccio. And yours, sirrah?
I'm a gentleman, sir, and my name is Conrad.
Write down Master Gentleman Conrad. Masters, do you serve God?
Hey, sir, we hope.
Write down that they hope they serve God, but write God first, for God defend, but God come before such villains. Masters, it is proved already that you are little more than false names. It will go near for you to be thought so low. What say you for yourselves?
Marry, sir, we say we are none.
A marvelously witty fellow, I'll assure you, but I'll go about with him. Come you hither, sir, a word in your ear. Sir, I say to you, sir, it is thought you are false names.
Master Constable, go not the way to examine. You must call forth the watch that are their accusers.
Yeah, Mary, that's the eftest way. Let the watch come forth. Masters, I charge you, in the prince's name, accuse these men.
This man said Don John, the prince's brother, was a villain.
Write down Prince John, a villain. Why, this is flat perjury to call the prince's brother a villain.
What heard you him say else?
Mary, that he received 1,000 ducats of Don John for accusing the lady hero wrongfully.
Flat burglary has ever been committed.
What else, fellow?
And that Count Claudio did mean, upon his words, to accuse Hero in front of the whole assembly and not marry her.
Oh, you villain! You will suffer eternal salvation for this.
What else?
This is all.
And this is more, masters, than you can deny. Prince John was this morning secretly stolen away. Hero was in this manner accused, in this very manner refused, and upon the grief of this suddenly died. Master Constable, let these men be bound and brought to Leonado's. I will go before and show him their examination.
Come, let them be opinioned.
Away! Away! You are an ass! You are an ass!
Dost thou not suspect my place? Dost thou not suspect my years? Oh, that he were here to write me down an ass! and, which is more, an officer, and as pretty a piece of flesh is, as any is in all of Messina, and one that knows the law, go to, and a rich fellow enough, go to, and one that hath 2 gowns and everything and one that hath known losses and everything handsome about him. Bring him away! Thank you, sir. Oh, that he were here to write me down and ask.
If you go on thus, you will kill yourself, and 'tis not wisdom thus to second grief against yourself.
I pray thee, cease thy counsel, which falls into mine ears as profitless as water in a sieve. For our brother men can counsel and speak comfort to that grief which they themselves not experiencing it, feeling it their counsel turns to passion. Give me no counsel, my griefs cry louder than advertisement.
Yet bend not all harm upon yourself. Make those that do offend you suffer too.
There, thou speakest reason. Nay, I will do so. My soul doth tell me that Hero is belied, and that shall Claudio know, and so shall the prince, and all of them that thus dishonor her.
Here come the prince and Claudio hastily.
Good evening. Good evening.
Hear me, my lords.
We have some haste, Leonardo.
Some haste, my lords. Well, fare you well, my lords. Are you so hasty now? All this is one.
Nay, do not quarrel with us, good old man.
If he could right himself with quarreling, some of us would lie low.
Who wrongs him? Thou dost wrong me, Claudio, thy dissembler, thy. Nay, never lay thy hand upon thy blade. I fear thee not.
Marry, beshrew my hand if it should give your age such cause of fear. In faith, my hand meant nothing to my blade.
Tush, tush, man, never jest nor fleer at me. Thou hast wronged mine innocent child in me. I say thou hast belied mine innocent child. Thou slander hast gone through and through her heart, and she lies, buried with her ancestors in a tomb where never scandal slept, save this of hers, framed by thy villainy.
My villainy?
Thine, Claudio's, thine, I say.
Away, I will not have to do with you.
Canst thou so daft be? Thou hast killed mine innocent child. If thou shalt kill me, thou shalt kill the man.
He shall kill 2 of us, and men indeed. But that's no matter. Let him answer me. Come, follow me, boy. Come, sir boy. Come, follow me. Sir boy, I'll whip you from your boarding fence. Nay, as I am a gentleman, I will.
Brother.
Content yourself. God knows that I loved my niece, and she is dead. Slandered to death by villains that dare as well answer a man indeed, as I dare take a serpent by the tongue, boys, apes, braggarts, jacks, milksops.
Brother Anthony.
Hold your content. What man? I know them, yea, and what they weigh, even to the utmost scruple, scrambling, outfacing, fashion-monging boys that lie and cog and flout, deprave and slander, go antically and show outward hideousness, and speak of 6 dangerous words and how they might hurt their enemies if they durst. And this is all.
Gentlemen both, we will not wake your patience. My heart is sorry for your daughter's death, but on my honor, she was charged with what was true and very full of proof.
My lord, my lord.
I will not hear you.
No? Come, brother, away. I will be heard.
And shall, or some of us will smart for it.
Welcome, senor. You're almost come to part almost a fray.
We'd like to have had our 2 noses snapped off by 2 old men without teeth.
Leonardo and his brother, what thinkest thou? Had we fought, I doubt we should have been too young for them.
In a false quarrel there is no true valor. I came to seek you both.
We have been up and down to seek thee, for we are of high proof melancholy, and will fain have it beaten out of us.
Wilt thou use thy wit?
It is in my scabbard. Shall I draw it?
I bid thee draw as we do the minstrel, draw to pleasure us.
I will meet your wit in the career, and you charge it against me. I pray you, choose another subject.
By this light he changes more and more. I think he be angry indeed.
If he be, he knows how to turn his girdle.
Shall I speak a word in your ear?
God bless me from a challenge.
You are a villain! I jest not. I will make it good. How you dare, with what you dare, and when you dare! Do me right, or I will protest thy cowardice. You have killed an innocent lady, and her death shall fall heavy on you. Let me hear from you!
Oh, then I will meet thee, so we may have good cheer.
What a feast, a feast!
Faith, I thank him.
If your wit goes well, it ambles easily.
I'll tell thee how Beatrice praised thy wit the other day. I said thou hadst a fine wit. True, said she, a fine little one. Nay, said I, the gentleman is wise. Certain, said she, wise gentleman. Nay, said I, he hath the tongues. That I believe, said she, for he swore a saying to me on Monday night, which he forswore Tuesday morning. There's a double tongue, there's 2 tongues. Yet did she an hour together transhape thy particular virtues. Yet at last she concluded with a sigh, thou wast the properest man in Italy. But when shall we set the savage bull's horns on sensible Benedict's head?
Yea, and text underneath, here dwells Benedict, the merry man.
Fare you well, boy. You know my mind. I will leave you now to your gossip-like humor. You break jests as braggarts do their blades, which God be thanked hurt not. My lord, for your many courtesies I thank you. I must discontinue your company. Your brother, the bastard, has fled from Messina. You've among you killed a sweet and innocent lady. For my lord Blackbeard there, he and I shall meet. Until then, peace be with him.
I think he is in earnest.
In most profound earnest. And I'll warn you, for the love of Beatrice.
And hath challenged thee?
Most sincerely.
What a pretty thing man is when he goes in his doublet and hose and leaves off his wit.
He is then a giant to an ape, but then is an ape a doctor to such a man?
Ah, soft you. Let me be. Pluck up my heart and be sad. Did he not say my brother was fled? Why, how now? Till my brother's been bound for Ratio 1.
Hearken after their offense, my lord.
Officers, what offense have these men done?
Marry, sir, they've committed false report. Secondarily, they've spoken untruths. Moreover, their slanders. Sixth and lastly, they have belied a lady. Thirdly, they have verified unjust things. And to conclude, they are lying knaves.
First, I ask thee what they have done. Third, I ask thee, what's their offense? Sixth, and lastly, why they are committed, and to conclude, what you lay to their charge.
Rightly reasoned and in his own division. And by my troth, there's one meaning well suited.
Masters, who have you offended that you are thus bound to your answer? This learned constable is too cunning to be understood. What's your offense?
Sweet prince, let me go no further in my answer. Do you hear me and let this count for me? I have deceived even your very eyes. What your wisdoms cannot uncover, these shallow fools have brought to light, who in the night overheard me confess to this man how Don John your brother incensed me to slander the Lady Hero. How you were brought to the orchard and saw me court Margaret in Hero's garments. How you disgraced her when you should marry her. My villainy they have upon record, and I should rather seal it with my death than let it carry over to my shame. The lady is dead by mine and my master's villainy, and briefly, I desire nothing but the reward of the villain.
Runs not the speech like iron through your blood?
I have drank poison whilst he utters it.
But did my brother set thee onto this?
Yea, and hid me richly for the practice of it.
He is composed and framed of treachery, and fled he is upon this villainy.
Oh, sweet hero, now thy image doth appear in the rare semblance that I loved at first.
Come, bring away the plaintiffs. By this time our sexton hath reformed Signor Leonato of the matter. And masters, do not forget to specify, when time and place shall serve, that I am an ass.
Here comes Master Signor Leonato, and the sexton too.
Which of these is the villain? Let me see his eyes, that when I note another man like him, I may avoid him. Which of these is he?
You would know your honor. Look on me.
Art thou the slave that with thy breath hast killed my innocent child?
Yea, even I alone.
No, not so, villain, thou beliest thyself. Here stand a pair of honorable men. A third hath fled that has a hand in it. Princes, I thank thee for my daughter's death. Record it with your high and worthy deeds. 'Twas bravely done, if thinks you of it.
I know not how to pray your patience, yet I must speak. Choose your revenge yourself. Impose to me what penance your invention can lay upon my sin. Yet sinned I not, but it mistaken.
By my soul nor I, and yet to satisfy this good old man, I would bend under any heavy weight that he'll enjoin me to.
I cannot bid you bid my daughter live. That were impossible. But I beseech you, possess the people here in Messina how innocent she died. And if your love can labor aught under such sad invention, hang an epitaph upon her tomb and sing it to her bones. Sing it tonight. Tomorrow morning come you to my house. As you cannot be my son-in-law, be yet my nephew. My brother hath a daughter, the very copy of mine child that is dead, and she alone is heir to both of us. Give to her the right you should have given her cousin, and so dies my revenge.
Oh, noble sir, your overkindness doth bring tears from me. I do embrace your offer, and henceforth dispose of poor Claudio.
Tomorrow, then, I will expect your coming. Tonight I take my leave. This naughty man shall face to face be brought to market, who I believe was packed in all this wrong, hired to it by your brother.
No, by my soul she was not, nor knew not what she did when she spoke with me, but hath always been just and virtuous in every way I do know her by.
Marry, sir, which indeed is not under white and black, the plaintiff here, the defendant, did call me an ass. And, I beseech you, let it be remembered in his punishment.
I thank thee for thy cares and honest pay.
Your worship speaks like a most thankful and reverent youth, and I praise God for you.
For thy pains.
God save the foundation.
Go, I discharge thee of thy prisoner, and thank thee for thy pains.
I leave you an errant knave for you to keep, which I beseech your worship to correct yourself, for the example of others. God keep your worship. I wish your worship well. God restore you to health. I humbly grant you leave to depart, and if a merry meeting may be wished, God prohibit it. Come, neighbor.
Farewell, my lords. I will look for you tomorrow.
Farewell, my lords. We look for you tomorrow.
We will not fail.
Tonight, I'm on with Hero.
Bring these fellows on. Henceforth we shall go to Margaret, to learn how our acquaintance grew with this lewd fellow.
Rhyme for the sky? Guy? No. For pillar? Killer? Sweet Mistress Margaret, deserve well at my hands by helping me to the speech of Beatrice. I pray thee, call Beatrice. I give thee the bucklers.
Give us the swords. We have bucklers of our own.
If you use the Margaret, you will need to set the pikes with a vice, and they are dangerous weapons for maids.
Well, I will call Beatrice to you, who I think hath legs.
And therefore will come. The God of love, who sits above, and knows me, how pitiful I deserve. I mean in singing, but in loving. Leander, the good swimmer. Troilus, the first employer of panders. And a whole book of these quondam carpet mongers, whose names yet run the even road of a blank verse. They were never so turned over and over as my poor self in love. Mary, cannot express it in rhyme. I've tried. I can find no rhyme for lady but baby, an innocent rhyme. For scorn, whore, a hard rhyme. For school, fool, a babbling rhyme. Very ominous endings. No, I cannot show it in rhyme. I was not born under a rhyming planet, nor I cannot woo in festival terms. Sweet Beatrice, wouldst thou come when I called thee?
Yea, and depart once thou bid me.
Oh, stay but till then.
Then is spoken. Fare you well now. And yet, let me go with which I came. Just knowing what has passed between you and Count Claudio.
Only foul words, and thereupon will I kiss thee.
Foul words is but foul wind, and foul wind is but foul breath, and foul breath is noisome. Therefore, I will depart unkissed.
Thou hast frighted the word out of his right sense. So forcible is thy wit. But I must tell thee plainly, Claudio undergoes my challenge, and I must soon either hear from him or I will subscribe him a coward. But tell me, truly, for which of my bad parts didst thou first fall in love with me?
For them all together, which created so politic a state of evil that they let none of the good parts intermingle with them. Now tell me, which of my good parts did thou first suffer love for?
Suffer love, a good epithet. I do suffer love indeed, for I love thee against my will.
In spite of your heart, I think. Alas, poor heart. But if you spite it for my sake, I'll spite mine for yours, for I cannot love that which my friend hates.
Tell me, how does thy cousin?
Very ill.
And how do you?
Very ill, too.
Serve God, love me, and mend. There will I leave you, for here comes one in haste.
Madam, you must come to your uncle, yonder old coil at home, my lady hero, falsely accused, the prince and Claudio, mightily abused, and Don John, the author of it all, has fled and gone. Will you come presently?
Will you go hear this news, Signor?
I will live in thy heart, die in thy lap, and be buried in thine eyes. And moreover, I will go with thee to thy uncle's.
Is this the monument of Leonardo?
It is.
Done to death by slanderous tongues was the hero that here lies. Death, in guerdon of her wrongs, gives her fame which never dies. So the love that died in shame lives in death with glorious fame. Hang thou there upon my tomb, praising her when I am dumb. Now unto thy bones good night.
Yearly, will I do this right?
Come, let us hence and put on other weeds, and then to Leonardo's we will go.
And time and now with luck your issue speeds, and this for whom we rendered up this woe.
Did I not tell you she was innocent?
So were the prince and Claudio, who accused her upon that air which you heard debated. But Margaret was in some fault for this, although against her will, as it seems, in the true course of the question.
Well, I'm glad that all things sort so well.
And so am I, being else by faith had forced to call young Claudio to a reckoning for it.
Daughter and you gentlewomen all, withdraw into the chamber, and when I call for you, come hither mass. The prince and Claudio did by this hour promise to visit me. Brother, you know your office. You must be the father to your brother's daughter and give her to young Claudio.
Which I will do with confirmed countenance.
Friar, I must entreat thy pains, I think.
To do what, Signor?
To bind me or undo me, one of them. Signor Leonardo, it is your niece regards me with an eye of favor.
That I my daughter lent her, 'tis most true.
And I do with an eye of love requite her.
The sight of which I think you got from me, from Claudio, and from the prince. But what is your will?
Your answer, sir, is enigmatical. But for my will is your good will. Be joined with ours, this day to be conjoined in the state of honorable marriage, in which, good friar, I shall desire your help.
My heart is with your liking.
And my help. Here comes the prince and Claudio.
Good morrow to this fair assembly.
Good morrow, prince. Good morrow, Claudio. We here attend you. Are you yet determined to marry today with my brother's daughter?
I'll hold my mind, though she were a changeling's sprite.
Call her forth, brother. The friar is ready.
Why, what's the matter, Benedict, that you have such a February face, so full of frost of storm and cloudiness?
I think he thinks upon the savage bull. Tush, man, we'll tip thy horns with gold, and Lady Beatrice shall rejoice at thee.
Some such strange bull left your father's cow. Got a calf in the same noble feet. Much like to you, for you have justice believed.
For this I owe you. Here comes other reckonings. Which is the lady I must seize upon?
The same as she. And I do give you her.
Why then, she's mine. Sweet, let me see your face.
No, this you shall not, till you take her hand before this friar and swear to marry her.
Why then, take my hand before this holy friar. I'm your husband, if you like me.
And when I lived, I was your other wife. And when you loved, you were my other husband.
Another hero.
Nothing certainer, for one hero died defiled, but as surely as I do live, I am a maid.
The former hero that is dead.
She died, but while her slander lived.
All this amazement can I qualify, and when all holy rites are ended, I shall tell you largely of fair hero's death. Meantime, let wonders seem familiar, and let us to the chapel presently.
Soft and fair, friar. Which of you is Beatrice?
I answer to that name. What is your will?
Do not you love me?
No, no more than reason.
Well, then, is your uncle and the prince and Claudio much misled, for they swore you did.
Why then, do you not love me?
Troth, no more than reason.
Why then, my cousin Margaret and Ursula have been deceived. For they did swear you did.
They swore you were almost sick for me.
They swore you were well nigh dead for me.
'Tis not so. Then you do not love me.
No, but in friendly recompense.
Come, cousin, I'm sure you love the gentleman.
And I'll be sworn upon that he loves her. For here's a paper written in his hand, a halting sonnet of his own pure brain, fashioned to Beatrice.
And here's another, stolen from my cousin's pocket, containing her affections unto Benedict.
A miracle. Here's our own hands against our hearts. Come, I will have thee. But by this light I take thee for pity.
I will not deny it, sir. But by this good day, I yield upon great persuasion, and partially to save your life, for I was told you were in a consumption.
Peace, I will stop your mouth.
How dost thou, Benedict, the married man?
I'll tell thee what, Prince. A college of whipcrackers cannot flout me out of my humor. Dost thou think I care for a satire or an epigram? No. In brief, since I do purpose to marry, I will think nothing to the purpose the world may say against it. For man is a giddy thing, and that is my conclusion. For thy part, Claudio, I should have thought to have beaten thee. But that thou art like to be my kinsman, live unbruised, and love my cousin.
I would have hoped thou wouldst have denied Beatrice, and I would have cudgeled thee out of thy single life to make thee a double dealer, which, out of question, thou wilt be. My cousin do not look exceeding narrowly to me.
Come, come, we are friends. Let us have a dance ere we are married, that we may lighten our hearts and our wives' heels.
There will be dancing afterwards.
First of my word. Therefore, play, music. Prince, get thee a wife. Get thee a wife. There is no staff more reverend than one tipped with horn.
Excuse me, pardon me. My lord! My lord, your brother's taken in flight, and brought with armament back to Messina!
Think not on him till tomorrow. I'll devise thee brave punishments for him. Strike up, pipers.